Hi, I'm Seth Rowe with St. Louis Park Sun Sailor, and you're watching the April 8th edition of St. Louis Park Today. Well, today I spent a bit of time interviewing some St. Louis Park High School students about their entrance in a robotics tournament from April 2nd through the 4th recently, and they ended up winning the Judges Award out of dozens of teams, which was kind of a cool thing for them. This is their first year doing the robotics tournament, and it was pretty fascinating to hear about the different things they're doing with the robots. They got a kit of components to put together for the chassis and for some of the machinery, and then there were other parts that they had to make and assemble and design and put together. They had a computer program that they used to program it. They got some help from Cargill and Jury's Best Hardware for sponsoring the various parts and activities and so forth. And they assembled it in much of it in the basement of school board member Rolf Peterson, right in the park. And they did some work also at Lennox Community Center, thanks to the community ed department. So there was also some teachers and other community members involved, and it was an after-school program that they did. So social studies teacher and technology integrationist Ann Jurowitz said that the students were a diverse group. I believe there were 9 of them, and there were several female participants, a great deal of ethnic diversity. So she said they weren't your kind of your stereotypical engineering demographic necessarily, and that was something she kind of wanted to help incorporate. Some of the students worked on the marketing and branding of it, while others focused on the actual creation of the robot. And they put these things together and over 6 weeks, and then had the competition for the 3 days. The robots had to go across what they called a lunar type landscape, which had the kind of fake moon rocks and all this, so they had to kind of navigate. And then the students would try to throw what they called kind of like painted wiffle balls into some of the other robots. And the idea was that you didn't want those in the back of your robot. So, you could also have robots putting these things into the backs of other robots. So they had a kind of all this. And then another component was that the robots could pick up these kind of discs things. If you get enough, you get a super disc, and that kind of helped you out as far as the points go. Now, another interesting thing was that they teamed up together so that different schools would work together in an alliance, and then they would switch members of the alliance later on. So Ann Jurowitz, the teacher at the high school, said that led to a great deal of collaboration, because no one ever really knew who their next alliance teammates would be. So if someone had a problem, needed a part, had a breakdown, teams, and the students said this too, teams would come running to help them. So it sounds like kind of a neat thing from my perspective, and kind of a learning thing, and it was kind of donated from people, the Cargill in the technology field, from that large conglomeration, and helps, of course, students get interested in stuff like engineering. One of the students said that he did in fact want to go into engineering later on in life. So, and other students that are with the marketing really helped her with her communication skills, and she'll find that helpful in the future. So, interesting program. You'll be able to read all about it in the St. Louis Park Sun Sailor next week. We'll have fantastic photos and all that. Alright, here's your weather underground forecast for today, April 8th. Today is going to be, well, a high of 47 is what it says, but once again, the actual temperature at the present time has exceeded that. It's actually almost 51 degrees as I record this here in the afternoon Wednesday. And there's a low of 27, so dropping back down a bit. Tomorrow is almost exactly the same, high of 47, but a low of 29. For Friday, Good Friday, it'll be a high of 52, low of 31. And Saturday, they're projecting 56 for a high and a low of 36. By the way, since I referenced Good Friday, I should also mention that tonight is the start of Passover at sundown, so that's something that I'm sure many people in the community will be celebrating tonight, and then of course the full kind of holiday is also tomorrow, and of course we've got Easter coming up for members of another religion. Well, thanks again for joining me. I'm Seth Rowe for St. Louis Park Today.